We've got an install video for you guys today on the STI, and man, does it feel good to say that. It's been forever since I've made one of these videos, but we're gonna be showcasing how to install the IAG AN breather fitting sets for the 08 Plus STIs. Now, there's a few reasons why you'd want to remove and alter the factory PCV system on your Subaru. Specifically in my case, I have a very heavily modified STI in which I am making over 700 wheel horsepower on a rotated setup. Now for me, I've been a big fan of taking a lot of pride in my engine bay, making sure things are clean, organized, and as tucked as possible. And using AN fittings are gonna help us achieve tighter turning radiuses on those hoses. So that is why I'm looking forward to installing this specific kit on my Subaru. It's gonna be a step-by-step tutorial in case you guys are wondering and looking to do this to your own personal car. So guys, if you enjoy this video and find it helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content on the Subaru. You're gonna need a torch, preferably MAP gas. This is going to help loosen the adhesive that Subaru puts on the short block for the PCV connections. You're gonna need a hammer. Any good hammer will work. This is old reliable for me. This is just going to help loosen up the fitting itself. And then lastly, you're gonna need a good set of vice grips. This is going to help us pull and kind of twist on the fittings to get them out of the block eventually. So these are basically the three tools you're gonna need to remove it. Now let's show you guys exactly what's included in the kit. Now in our packaging, we have an assortment of AN breather fittings. These are gonna be, I believe, 10 AN and 8 AN. And then you're gonna have these caps we're going to screw on to the ends of them. So when we go to install them and we hammer them in, we're not gonna go ahead and damage the threads. We're also going to use the green Loctite that is supplied with this kit. Green Loctite is very useful on things that you absolutely do not want to come out. So it's a very, very simple and rudimentary kit. It's straightforward. Let's go to the car and show you guys how to exactly go ahead and remove these fittings, as they are a little bit tricky and require a little bit of finesse. Now we're in front of the engine, we're close to the battery, and we are on the driver's side head. And I've already gone ahead and removed one of the valve cover breathers here, and I'm a little upset, and I'll tell you guys why in a second. So it looks like the front valve cover breathers that go to the AOS are a little bit easier to remove for whatever reason. This required no heat, no vice grips, just 2 love taps from the hammer, and this thing was able to come out with my hand. Now the rears here, the ones that go from the valve covers to the center of the block, those seem to be the ones that are going to be the most difficult. So hopefully we can show you guys on camera how to do the rears. I'm going to start off with the hammer, see if it loosens it up, and hopefully we'll be able to just pull it out. Wow, see how easy that was? And just like that, it's gone. All right, it's been a couple days. We are gonna finish off the video here today. Not much is left. All that's left to do is to install the fittings. However, I'm gonna take about 3 minutes to explain why we ended up taking a break and give you guys some actual tips and tricks on how to do this install correctly so you do not end up with a messed up valve cover like I did if you guys are coming from the previous video. And if you're not, now you know. I messed up my valve cover and I had to do a valve cover job. So here's my passenger side valve cover, and you can see as I'm showing you guys on camera, look how messed up I ended up jacking up this fitting. And that is because when you do the hammer method, while it's okay to do it, you should not go overboard with it. And let me explain why. So the fittings here are press fitted in from factory. That means that they are stuck with some type of adhesive and they are not meant to come out. But the issue is when you start hammering them to loosen them with the applied heat as well, you start deforming the top end. Well, if it's particularly cylindrical, when you start hitting the top end here, what you're doing is actually flaring out the bottom by consequence. So that's what ended up happening to me. And long and behold, I had a nightmare of a time trying to get this out. So the trick to doing all these fittings, especially if your guys' engines are very old or whatever the case is, because these are also known to fall out over time, you stick a 6-inch extension right here on any of the fittings. So that way when you hammer it, you don't deform the original fitting to the point where you're gonna have my issue. So that's why I ended up doing a quick valve cover job on the STI. It's cheap insurance relative to the price of an entire new long block or motor in general. So we just knocked that out, and all that's left to do is to go to the car, show you how to actually install the new fittings, which should not be that difficult, and then we can wrap up this video. And this is what we're working with. So they give you a total of 6 fittings, 2 for the valve covers on each side, so for a total of 4. 1 goes right behind the coolant crossover pipe, and then there's 1 to the left of that that is closer to my turbo here that I told you guys we are not worrying about, and that is this big ass one, which I believe is a -12. The rest of these fittings are all -8. Now, the smaller of the fittings goes to the very front of the valve covers. The longer of the ones on the valve covers, so here and here, those are gonna go behind, so further back if you're looking at the front of the car. Now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna open this up. We're going to apply a generous amount on all of our fittings, and the install for all of these is gonna be exactly the same with the exception of the big one, but it's the same concept. We're gonna slather a good amount, which is what I've been told, at the very bottom of here, not the part that has the threads. And then once you have a good amount, you're gonna grab the install cap, which I'll show you guys in a second. You're gonna screw this thing on, and then you're gonna insert it directly into your area that you want to install it in. So either the valve cover, the one behind the coolant crossover pipe, etc. And then once you put it in, you're going to get a hammer, tap it in, and that's it. It's done. I hope this video gave you guys some insight on what it's like to install the AN conversion kit for the breather fittings on your EJ-based Subaru. Now, for full transparency, I did watch 2 other videos prior to making this video and installing it myself. However, I don't think either of the videos really captured what it's like to install these. These are kind of annoying to install. Now, would I install this again? Yes. Now, knowing what I know now with all the tips and tricks that I would apply to somebody else's car, I don't think it's that bad as I first did it. I think going forward it would be a lot easier. And for what I want to do with the car and what I see going forward for the vision of the engine bay, I think it's well worth it, especially if you're an OCD freak like me in terms of your engine bay. This is definitely worth it. It's a cheap mod. And just so you guys know, I did actually just get the fittings in for the AN fittings on top from Amazon. And we're gonna be utilizing Evil Energy fittings. And as far as the lines go, we're just gonna be utilizing some AutoZone fuel lines. The same type of lines that they supply, or IAG supplies with the AOS, do not run the coolant graded hoses that you can get from the auto parts store. Just get some fuel lines and we're gonna find the appropriate size. And if you guys are interested in that, we'll probably talk about that in the next few videos, because this Friday, we're sending this car out to Church Automotive Testing, not to get tuned. Matt over there is gonna help me finish the car up. We're gonna do the full -8 feed and -6 return conversion. I am incredibly lucky to have that guy, as well as potentially Rob over there helping me out with this. It's not that I don't wanna do it myself. It's just that with the room I have here, and I've kind of got used to filming in a little bigger area, especially with doing fuel stuff, it's a bit of a pain in the butt, and I want to be able to get you guys the best angles possible. So that being said, if you are still interested in seeing the -8, -6 conversion and learn how to make your own PTFE braided lines, then stick around, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.